Hey now, welcome back Pokemon trainers. This is your friendly neighborhood Bullados, and today we are at the Wisconsin Regionals 2014 in Madison, Wisconsin. We are in round 4, and we have table 1. On your left we have Kyle, Pooka, Sucevich, and on your right we have Christopher Schemanske. Kyle seems to be playing a variant of Darkrai Eviltal, while Christopher is playing a Blastoise, Blastoise, Keldeo, probably Black Hero. Christopher has gone first. He's played an Electric Energy on his Squirtle to try and retreat it later. And he played his either a Juniper or a Sycamore to discard his hand. I didn't get to see everything that he discarded, but he got to draw another 7 cards, bench another 2 Pokemon, and passes over to Kyle. Kyle will start his turn drawing a card, playing Ultra Ball, discarding 2 cards from his hand, lets him search for any one Pokemon that he would like. He's probably looking for a Trubbish, so he's playing this deck as, rather than a speed version, he's playing a lock version, which actually has a really good matchup against Blastoise, because Blastoise absolutely relies on its abilities to do everything in the deck. He needs to, use Deluge to get energies on his Pokemon. He needs to use Russian to get his guys out of bad positions. So if Kyle can get his Trubbish, his Garbodor set up with a tool on it early, he has absolute advantage over Christopher's deck. Kyle's played an N to shuffle both players' hands into their decks and draw a number of cards equal to their prizes. And lucky for Kyle, he gets another Trubbish, which gives him 2 ways of getting to his Garbodor. He wants that just in case Christopher manages to hit heads on a catcher, knock out one of his Trubbish. He has a second one in reserve, just to make sure. Kyle will use Junk Hunt to get 2 item cards out of his discard pile. He chooses an Ultra Ball and a Dark Patch. And he used the Dark Patch earlier to put Darkness Energy from his discard pile onto his Eviltal. Go back to Christopher's turn. He's already attached his energy and played an N. That energy goes to Keldeo, and he's using it to try and use Keldeo as a retreater a little later on in the game. But really what he's trying to do is just get stuff out of his deck so that he has a better chance of drawing into his Blastoise or rare candies. And I see a Blastoise in his hand, but he probably doesn't have a rare candy. There's the 3rd Squirtle, which means that Christopher is now definitely going to get a Blastoise, but he didn't have the rare candy, which is a problem for him. Kyle draws his card. I see a dowsing machine in there. Plays his Verbank because he knows he can get it back later with his dowsing machine. Drops a Darkness Energy onto Eviltal. Plays a Colress, which allows him to shuffle his hand into his deck, draw a number of cards equal to both players' benched Pokemon. In this case, he'll draw 6 cards off of that Colress. Colress is becoming more and more played these days because there are so many decks out there that just want to fill their bench up, want to have a lot of guys sitting there in reserve, and give them a lot of options. And since Colress draws based on the number of benched Pokemon, it's useful in this format, in lower numbers to be sure than other draw cards that are out there. Kyle draws out his hands, and I saw a couple of muscle bands, which he could attach to that Eviltal, but he probably won't, because that Eviltal doesn't need anything extra. Well, he's going to anyway, but he doesn't need anything extra to knock out the Squirtle. He just uses Evil Ball to knock out Squirtle, and Christopher is going to send up, looks like a Squirtle this time. He's trying to protect the Keldeo at this point in the game. However, he also knows that he needs to get that Blastoise up this turn. He really can't afford to wait any longer. There's a Skyla in his hand, which will get him a Heavy Ball, which he can use to evolve the Blastoise. He can either get a Heavy Ball or a rare candy. I can't remember. He has a Blastoise in his hand. That's right. He has a Blastoise in his hand, so he's searching for a rare candy, which will allow him to skip a stage and go straight from Squirtle to Blastoise. However, that rare candy requires the Squirtle to be in play for at least one turn before the Blastoise can come out. So Blastoise comes out, got a catcher, and brings up Trubbish. Keldeo rushes in and knocks out the Trubbish. Kyle sends up Trubbish, and it's over to Kyle's turn. He draws a Dark Patch. We already know that he has a Darkness in his discard pile. He's probably going to attach that to Yveltal and use it to deal damage to Keldeo. So while the time I was gone, it looks like Kyle has failed to get his Garbodor up, but he has an Yveltal with a lot of energies attached, and Christopher seems to not found all the energies that he needs for the Black Ballista that's on his bench. Kyle is right now searching through his deck, probably through an Ultra Ball, finds the Garbodor that he needed to shut off Blastoise's ability. Garbodor, when it has a tool attached, shuts off all abilities in place. So no more Deluge, no more Squirtle protected on the bench, no more Russian. Kyle also plays a Verbank City Gym, and then Juniper's away an empty hand. That Verbank City Gym makes Poison take 3 damage counters instead of just 1. Kyle, I see a Hypnotoxic Laser in his hand, which automatically poisons the defending Pokemon, and you then flip a coin to see if you can put it to sleep as well. But I believe that the number of energies that's on that Yveltal right now means that Kyle can one-shot that Keldeo. Unfortunately, Kyle also needs to find a Pokemon tool. He's going to play a Ultra Ball, discard 2 cards from his hand that looks like an N and a Darkness Energy, search his deck for any Pokemon that he likes. He might be searching for a Darkrai or maybe one of the other Eviltal EXs. Yep, there's the Eviltal EX. I'm not even sure if he runs a Darkrai in this deck. If he does, it might be prized. What Darkrai does is its ability gives anything on your side of the field with a Darkness Energy attached free retreat, and its attack for 3 energies does 90 damage to the active, 30 damage to a bench. But he's searching out the Eviltal, and he has a Bouffalant that he put onto his bench. That Bouffalant ability reduces all damage done to it by 20, and its attack for 3 energy does 60 damage, and if the defending Pokemon is a Pokemon EX, it does an additional 60 damage. Kyle's just going to use Eviltal's attack, Evil Ball, to knock out the Keldeo, and Christopher now basically doesn't have any energies in play. However, he just played a Tropical Beach to get rid of Verbank City Gym, and he needs to find 4 energies. I see that he has a Superior Energy Retrieval in his hand. He uses it to discard, what's that, an Ultra Ball and a Skyla? There's 3 Waters and an Electric Energy. And now Kyle, I don't know what Kyle can do at this point because that's all of his energies in play. Chris attaches the 4 energies and plays a Juniper to discard his hand, draw 7 cards. Yes, the Juniper is underneath the Skyla. Candies up another Blastoise, and that Black Kyurem is now going to take out all of Kyle's energies that are in play. Yes, Kyle did need to knock out the Keldeo last turn. He didn't have much of a choice on that. However, he put himself in a very vulnerable position because he now got rid of all of his energies, and there's not much else he can do about it. However, that Sableye comes up. He just needs to find 1 Darkness Energy to make that Sableye very powerful. A Sableye will get back 2 item cards. He also plays the Laser, like I said, to poison the Black Kyurem. However, he missed the flip for Sleep. So, still awake, but Kyle played a Juniper, discarding his hand, getting new 7 cards, gets a Verbank City Gym in play. Again, that makes poison 3 damage counters instead of 1 damage counter. What else has Kyle got? Unfortunately, he whiffed on the Darkness Energy that the Sableye could use. That being said, Chris will either have to find some way to deal another 10 damage off of Slash, which I don't think the deck runs, or he needs to get Keldeo in play and devote 3 energies to it. Using Black Ballista to take 1 prize on a 70 HP Pokemon is not ideal. Kyle uses his Ultra Ball really to just thin his deck of cards that he doesn't think he'll be using for the rest of this game. Also, so that he can use that Bicycle to draw an additional 2 cards. Draws into a double colorless and a Muscle Band. Muscle Band goes on to Garbodor to prevent Christopher from using any of his abilities. And that double, well, Kyle's debating on what he needs to do with that double. It has to go on either the Eviltal EX or the Bouffalant, but he's not sure which one of the 2 he's going to put it on. Putting it on the Buffalo is more of a safe option. It means that Christopher will now have to knock out 3 Pokemon instead of just 2 in order to take his final 3 prizes. Kyle ends his turn. Chris takes 3 damage counters on his active Black Kyurem and draws his card. Now, he does have some plays that he can make. He can use N to knock down Kyle's hand to 1. However, Kyle doesn't have that many cards in his hand. Chris plays a Catcher, hoping to try and get that Garbodor active. What Catcher does, you flip a coin of tails. If heads, you bring up one of your opponent's Pokemon. However, Chris decides to ignore the Garbodor and goes straight for Eviltal. He's going to play a Professor Letter, search his deck for 2 energy cards. He finds 2 water energies, although he can't attach both of them. He can only attach 1 because his Blastoise's ability is not working at this point. He desperately needs to find a tool scrapper. That's the only way that he has to get rid of that ability. Yeah, he needs to get a tool scrapper, but he has a dowsing machine in his hand. He's trying to debate what he needs to what he can afford to lose. There's a dowsing machine for a tool scrapper, getting rid of the tool, and then he has a superior energy retrieval, discarding 2 water energies to get back 4 water energies. He's going to attach those 3 of those water energies to his active black Kyurem, and he's debating about playing that N. I would play it at this point. I know that his deck is getting very low, but he desperately needs to get more cards into his hand. And if he waits to play the N, he'll only get 1 card off of it. If he plays it now, he'll get 3, and maybe some way to get the final energies that he needs for the knockout. That being said, all Kyle needs is 1 energy card. That's it. 1 energy, and Kyle will win this game 1. So there's 3 cards. He might be looking for a Keldeo. Did he just discard 4 energies for that? He only needs to discard 3. I think he just discarded 4 energies for that. Well, Kyle got the energy, and they move on to game 2. That 1 energy allowed him to use Goldbreaker for 120, knocking out the Black Ballista, taking Kyle's final prize, and Kyle wins game 1. They move on to game 2. Christopher gets to choose who goes first in between the 2 games. Okay, guys, welcome back to game two. Looks like Chris is going first. He played an Ultra Ball, discarding 2 water energies to get a Squirtle out of his deck, and he started with a Black Kyurem EX, which he attached a Electric Energy to. Fortunately, he has no other moves to make this turn, and he just passes. Kyle, on the other hand, starts with a Bouffalant, an Eviltal, and a Trubbish. And it looks like he has a Darkrai in his hand that he's debating playing. He also has a double colorless, which is going to help him attack with that Bouffalant on turn 2, if he decides to attach it to his active Bouffalant. Again, Bouffalant does 60 plus 60 if the opponent is a Pokemon. There goes the Darkrai onto the bench, gives everything on Kyle's side of the field free retreat, and he's just going to end his turn. Chris starts his turn by playing a Professor's Letter, get 2 water energy out of his deck. That might mean that he has a Rare Candy Blastoise in his hand to start with. Either that or he just has nothing and he attaches the water to end his turn. Got the Garbodor into play, and Kyle plays a Juniper, discarding his hand, drawing 7. I didn't see everything that he discarded, unfortunately, but I see a Burbank City Gym in his hand. And there goes an energy, which means that he's now attacking for 120 damage. There's the Burbank, a laser, and the Black Kyurem is still awake, though it doesn't really matter because he's about to deal 120 damage to Black Kyurem. And then another 30 from Burbank City Gym, putting it at 150, and he needs only 30 more damage to knock out Black Kyurem. We move over to Christopher's turn, draws his card, and I see a Rare Candy in his hand. There's a Catcher and a Rare Candy in his hand. Catcher gets played, probably to bring out Garbage. Garbodor is coming up, and it has a 3 retreat, so he needs to attach either a Floatstone or a Darkness Energy to knock it out. Attaches a Water Energy and just lets the Black Kyurem get knocked out. Back to Pooka's turn. Draws his card, that's a Garbodor. Random Receiver to try and see if he can get a supporter better than the Colress that was in his hand. He's just looking to see. There's a Juniper. He's going to shuffle the rest of the cards back into his deck at some point. Oh, there's an Ultra Ball. He's going to discard 2 cards from his hand to search his deck for probably the non-EX Eviltal. That non-EX Eviltal does 30 damage and allows him to pull a Darkness Energy out of his discard pile. Okay, he grabs a Trubbish instead. He's really just trying to thin his deck of cards that he doesn't think are going to be particularly useful to him. Uses a second Ultra Ball to discard an Eviltal and that Trubbish to get another Eviltal. He'll probably end up benching that. And he'll play a Laser. Just poison, not... There's a Floatstone, and Kyle wins this game 2-0. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time. This is my recording